Hi, I'm Cynthia with the Skin Repair Addict channel. Thank you for joining me today on this video about hormones. And I have recently had the most awful experience with low hormone levels. And I want to tell you what that experience was like and how I managed to get through it and come to the other side where, yes, the grass is greener and probably greener than it has been in a very long time. And I just had no idea that so many things in my life, so many problems were caused from hormone issues. So I'm going to start with my most recent experience and how I got over that hurdle. And then I want to tell you what the progression was up to that point, so that maybe if you're not where I'm at yet or where I was before I got on hormone therapy, then maybe you can catch this before you have to just get into the worst symptoms of your life. So about 4 months ago, I had the worst symptoms that I could have ever imagined. I had no idea that it was going to get this bad. If I had known, I would have started hormone therapy a lot earlier. So what happened was I had been having hot flashes for some time, and in about, I would say, a month's time, my hot flashes started getting closer and closer and closer together until they were about 10 minutes apart, day and night. I had severe anxiety before every single hot flash. Severe anxiety to the point to where I feared so many things. It was really messing with my head. I was feeling suicidal for the first time ever in my life. And the hot flashes were so intense that my head was boiling. My chest was dripping sweat. My entire arm would be sweaty, my entire back, every inch of my body, my knees were sweating, everything was sweating every 10 minutes, every 10 minutes. And that, I'm not exaggerating at all, not even a little. And like I said, severe anxiety right before. And it got to the point to where I was just sitting down in my room, staring at the wall, wondering how I was going to get through. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to pay my rent, even though I had the money. I was afraid that my car was going to break down and I wouldn't have a way to work, even though I have 2 cars. I was afraid that if I lost my job, that I wouldn't be able to do what I needed to do. And I had no reason to think that I was going to lose my job. But in my mind, all that I saw was gloom and doom. And all my life, I have been a very positive person, a very cheerful person. And it's actually been on a slow decline for some time, but I didn't really notice that the problem was me. So back to what was happening, I had actually considered quitting my job that I have built up over the last 12 years of my life. It's my own company, and just getting a job somewhere working for another company, just any company, like something easy. And when I would think about that, that seemed hard. I didn't feel like I was trainable for anything in the state of mind that I was in. So I just kept telling myself, well, just keep doing what you're doing. It's easy for now because you know what you're doing. The problem was I couldn't add on to my job. I couldn't build it any further because I was not capable. I wasn't functional. I was losing function all the time, which you can imagine would happen if you're not sleeping, and which was impossible to do. The anxiety was so bad that, and the hot flashes, that when I felt it coming on, I would just throw the covers off of me in bed and sit up, And then I would just breathe and work out the anxiety, and then work through the hot flash, and then I would lay back down and I would roll over and try again. And this had gone on with the anxiety part and everything to the severe point. It was at least 2 weeks, but probably more like a month. So I was barely sleeping. I don't know what the rest of my body was thinking about this. I couldn't think. And then the last thing that happened before I decided to actually do something about it was I was sitting on the porch with my kids, and my heart started doing some really weird stuff. So I knew that I needed to do something, because I just started thinking, man, I haven't been sleeping, and now my heart's doing this, and my body it's like an engine overheating in a car. And so I decided I had to do something. So I got on a website, evernow.com, and the only reason that I didn't follow through with Evernow is because I was going to have to get a breast exam, and I didn't feel like I had time. So I decided that I was going to go to a website called life-flo that I already knew about. I'd already used some of their products before in the past, in earlier perimenopause, but my symptoms weren't as severe, so I just didn't stay consistent. I didn't keep up with it. I should have, because I would not have been where I was a few months ago if I had been. I just really didn't know what I was doing. So this time though, I was serious. I was like, this is literally probably life or death. So what are signs that you should probably consider hormone therapy? Irregular menstrual periods. If you have a combination of a lot of these, I have pretty much all of them. Irregular menstrual periods, headaches, mood changes like anxiety or depression. I had both. Trouble sleeping, hot flashes, bloating or weight gain. That was another thing that I was having a problem with. Weak or brittle bones, trouble concentrating, definitely sitting and staring for 30 minutes in a chair frequently is probably some trouble concentrating. Moodiness and irritability. My kids can definitely attest to that. Vaginal dryness and atrophy. Hot flashes and night sweats. Irregular periods or no periods. Weight gain, especially in your belly. So this was a combination of low progesterone and low estrogen. I fell under all of these symptoms, maybe -2, because I have had my tubes tied, so I was not trying to conceive, so I can't really say yes or no on that. Weaker brittle bones, I don't know. Everything else, yes. I had every other symptom, and my hair was dry and brittle and breaking. That was another thing. And my skin was extremely dry. That had started a while back, but it was really dry. Nothing would work. Lotions wouldn't work. Chemical peels wouldn't work. This was mostly on my legs and on my arms, and my feet were starting to get that way. So if this sounds like you, then I'm going to tell you what I did to reverse that. And it wasn't exercise. It wasn't changing my diet, because I had already tried those things in the past. Those things helped me feel a little better on some fronts, but I was still always on that decline. And here's why. Your reproductive system and your hormones are very much closely related in how everything functions. And if you're coming to the end of your reproductive cycles, your reproductive days, which I am, then your hormones are going to do what hormones do when your reproductive cycle ends. Unless you step in with a hormone therapy. Unless you're one of those lucky, amazing women that just glide on through and they never notice anything. I was on the opposite end of that scale, so that was not me. So the first thing I did is I went on to evernow.com because they are an HRT, hormone replacement therapy website with online doctors. It kind of walks you through step by step with everything. The reason I didn't go through with them is because I would have had to go get a breast exam and I didn't feel like I had time to do that. So I went on to a website that I was familiar with. It's called life-flo.com, and I had used them in the past. However, my symptoms at that time were not severe and I got lazy. I wasn't consistent, so I didn't really reap any benefits. But I knew that whenever I had started, before I got lazy, that I noticed a difference in my sleep patterns and my mood. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this because I don't feel like I have the time or the mental capacity to set up a doctor's appointment to go get a breast exam, get that paperwork in, and I need something now. So I thought if I can get some relief, then I can get back to that later. So what I got was the Progest and the Biestro body care cream. This is progesterone and it's USP certified. And this is estradiol and estriol. And they both work in conjunction with each other. This is twice a day. This is once a day. So I got, I think this went in first and I started using it and I started sleeping well. I was still having hot flashes, but I was able to sleep. I was tired in between, and the anxiety was starting to go away. So I was still having the hot flashes, but less anxiety, and I was sleeping better. And then when this came in the mail, because I actually had ordered them at 2 separate times. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did a lot of things at that time. I'm just gonna say I was mentally unstable from my hormone imbalance. And so when this came in, I started using it once a day. And what I noticed was the hot flashes starting to space out further from each other. Eventually they got to like every hour, like I was counting them. And then it got to every other hour. And then it was like every 3 hours. And then, oh, I remember when I was like, man, I've only had 3 hot flashes today. And then I'd like wake up once at night. So where am I at now and how long have I been on it? I have been using this since mid-August. And like literally mid-August. I think it was like August, somewhere between August 14th and 19th. And wow, let's see, September, October, so about 2.5 months, and I feel normal. Honestly, I don't think I've had a hot flash for days, so that's great. And as far as anxiety, I don't have it. I don't have it at all. Like, on anything. I don't get anxiety. I don't get upset. I don't get upset with like my kids. Like sometimes I might get like direct, but I don't get upset. I don't feel upset. I don't know how to explain it. It's like my mood is amazing. I can get things done. I feel creative. Whereas before I didn't, like I couldn't be creative. I didn't know how to be creative for a while, which was strange for me because that's just something that runs in my family. We're creative people. And, you know, I'd lost it. And I just thought I'm getting old and I've just lost my creativity. What am I going to do for the rest of my life? These were the thoughts going through my mind. And so then when this basically fixed me, I started thinking back because of how I felt now. And I started thinking back on things that I was upset about over the last, say, 10 to 15 years, and life changes that I had made over those years, and what I thought was going on, and then the reality of it. And I realized that a lot of things that I got upset over, or that I felt mistreated over, or that I felt was unfair, or that I felt I was being put out by, was all related to my hormones. It's a totally different thought process now. It's like it literally fixed me. And I don't know how else to say it. I feel great. I'm back to loving people more. I mean, like, I've always been a people lover, and I feel like now I'm even more of a people lover. So this has been literally probably the best decision of my life. And I would love to see more women be able to experience this. I know there's a stigma around HRT, and I want to get that out of your head. I'm going to put a link to a wonderful doctor down below that goes over so many things concerning hormones and hormone therapy, studies that were done incorrectly, and where she came from as well, from the training she had in med school and following those guidelines, and like at the top of what she thought was the top of her game. And then after seeing so many women, realizing that there was a bigger need to be met, and that those needs weren't being met because of the lack of training and the lack of knowledge. So she retrained herself, and it is amazing. Like, when I listen to her, I'm like, yes, that, it's one of those experiences. So I'm going to leave a link to her YouTube channel down below. I really encourage you, if you're going through perimenopause, to watch her videos. I encourage you to get some help with HRT. If you are in perimenopause and having any of those symptoms we talked about earlier, especially if you're having like a stack of those symptoms like I did, or just maybe signs, at least listen and find out what's going on. So earlier symptoms that I had were like, it started with little hairs in weird places, which that moved on to UTIs, urinary tract infections. And then that moved on to extreme periods, which you should not be having, okay? And the reason these things happen is because your hormones during peri are on a roller coaster, and you'll learn more about that on this doctor's YouTube channel. And that's why if hormone testing doesn't really work. Blood work doesn't work during peri like it does when you're pre-menopause or post-menopause, because pre and post you're more on some kind of a level field. You may not be level in post-menopause, where your levels should be, but you're not doing the up and down scaling. What's happening is you're going out of your reproductive years, and so your hormones are going crazy, and that will give you health problems as well. Things that can happen because of menopause, perimenopause, that are related to the hormonal imbalance would be heart disease, gum recession, and dental tooth decay are related as well. So if you're experiencing gum recession during this time, there's a very large chance that it is your hormones. And if you get those back on track, then you may be able to stop that from progressing any further. There are other things that could cause gum recession, but if this is something new and you've never experienced this and your dental hygiene is good, then that could be a key factor. Dry skin, thyroid issues, dementia, bone loss, breast cancer. All of these things can happen because of your hormone imbalance. So this is what I got, and because it worked so well for me, I did reach out to life-flo and I told them that I wanted to be an affiliate for them because I love their product so much, and I wanted to be able to share it with people and be able to make the time to make the video. So I did reach out to them and I said, I want to partner with you. I want to promote your products. I love your products. I want to tell people about them. And so they gave me a discount code, a link. So look down below and you can always use that and get a discount on your product. Now I know a lot of you are probably going to go the route of either EverNow or consulting a physician. And the YouTuber that I told you about, the doctor, she has on her website a list of physicians. She offers a lot of help, but if you want to try life-flo, that link is there as well. It worked great for me. If you go on there, I would suggest that when you find a product that you feel like you need, go down and read the reviews and see if the people reviewing the product had similar symptoms to you and the results that you want to get. That's exactly what I did, and it worked out great. I did that on both products. I wanted to make sure that the people that this worked for were struggling in the same areas as me, because I wanted to make sure that's what I needed. And that's kind of how I figured out which product I wanted. If you go that route with the life-flo, I strongly encourage you to read the reviews before making a purchase. Read the reviews under the progesterone or the estrogen of your choice, and then I think that you'll have a lot better results doing it that way. And thank you again for joining me here and for taking your time out to listen to this video. I really, really, really hope that I have been of some help to someone, and that somebody just tuned into this and was like, this is exactly what I needed to hear, because I know what it's like being in that spot. If you like this video and you want me to bring more content to you, then please like and subscribe, because that helps YouTube know that you want to see more of me. And that way, whenever I make more videos, my videos show up in more places. So yeah, that helps me to grow my channel and have the time to do this right here, which I love doing, YouTube. Thank you again, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.